with the Hall of Fame basketball writer Mark Heisler. I'm CineSport's Noah Coslov, getting into all things Kobe. And with Mark, you've known him since before he came to L.A. in 1996. What's the one story, Mark, that will always stand out for you about Kobe?
Well, the one thing that I'll always remember is in 1996, this is before the draft, I met him. He was at the pre-draft camp in Chicago. I had known a lot about him. I had seen him before his senior year in high school at the Adidas camp where he was the MVP. And more than that, I had covered his father, Joe, as a young player in Philadelphia, and I even knew the family. I knew, Joe's father, Kobe's grandfather, Big Joe Bryant. I ran into him. He was standing in the mezzanine, which was one floor above the lobby, and he was all by himself, just kind of staring wistfully down in the lobby. And I thought he was like a young kid a long way from home. And meanwhile, and his, him being in the draft was very controversial at that point. And a lot of people were saying that, he didn't belong there. And he was the first perimeter player to try to come, straight to the NBA from high school. So I introduced myself. I told him I had covered his father. We chatted for a while. He told me that he was going out to Los Angeles to try out for the Lakers, which is the first I knew about it. And I didn't think very much about it because the Lakers at that point were not on him, and Jerry West was doing it just as a favor he was trying him out as a favor to Kobe's agent, Arn Tellem, because Arn didn't know what he had, and with everybody talking Kobe down, he wanted to see, how good this player really was. Well, turned out Kobe went out and he worked out for the Lakers and he worked out for the Clippers, and Jerry West said it was the best workout he had ever seen, and Bill Fitch at the Clippers said it was the best workout he'd ever seen. The big thing for me is, I saw him. He seemed like he was so young. I thought, he must, be, like a lonely kid, a long way from home, and feeling overwhelmed. And what I learned over the years was Kobe didn't get overwhelmed. He had such inner confidence. He was really bulletproof, and so appearances were never what they seemed with Kobe.
What was that locker room like during those first few years that you were there covering the team, and then with Kobe and Shaq there?
Well, it took about 2 or 3 years for the rivalry with Shaquille to emerge. And, it emerged from Shaquille first. The great irony was Shaquille was 6 years older than Kobe, I believe it was, and had much more common sense than Kobe. Kobe was, really wildly ambitious and had a wild game on the floor, although he was pretty quiet off it. If you knew them, it was really more like Kobe was the grown-up. He was the one who was calm and had the poise, and wasn't bothered by too much. And Shaquille was kind of insecure, and Shaquille didn't like the fact that Kobe had, Shaquille had gone out of his way to try to mentor Kobe, and Kobe had let him know right away that there wasn't going to be any of that. So. Anyway, so it took a couple of years for Shaquille to start complaining about it, privately and getting in the press. And I remember going to Kobe, I think it was probably the third year in the league. And I said, what's this all about? And Kobe says, I don't even know anything about it. It's just, I don't have any problem with him, and he's always nice to me. And so it progressed from there to, to where they both started talking on the record in the press. Shaquille's last season, and it was the year that Kobe was standing trial, so Kobe was really emotional and really wild that year. And Gary Payton and Karl Malone were on the team, and so Kobe and Shaq started going back and forth at each other in the press right before the season started. And so I remember, the last practice before the season starts, all the press people are down there, and I remember Karl Malone saying, Gary and I, we came to this team, they both took pay cuts to come. And so, they were, we told everybody, we told these guys, this isn't what we came for. We came to win a championship. So it's over. Trust me. And that was the same day Kobe went home from practice, called up Jim Gray, and just killed Shaq. So, he's not my big brother, and all this stuff about, malingerer and this and that and the other thing, So that's what it was like.
I could do this all day, and we'll do it again soon. Mark Heisler, the Hall of Fame basketball writer. Go on Amazon and just pick out any of Mark's books on the subject, too. It's outstanding reads. Great talking to you. Thanks, Mark.